Hey guys, we're back for another little kind of thrown together DIY video. I got a little bit in here on Drago's new enclosure setup, changing his doors around and all that fun stuff. And I got a little bit in here on the new tub enclosure I'm working on, and there will be more updates on that in the future. I don't quite have it finished yet, but I hope you guys enjoy it. It is going to be a little cobbled together. Alright, well, we also actually, this past weekend, we decided we would upgrade Sylvia from the tank she was in to a 20 long, just to give her a little more floor space. What she was in was actually just a 20 tall, but we moved her into a 20 long to give her a little more floor space, and we'll actually be looking at upping her to either a 30 or a 40 gallon, probably within the next 6 months or so. But just like my other aquariums, I'm not a big fan of the idea of spending $20 on that screen topper. It's a hard metal mesh that if your snake is actually curious or, is wanting to get out in any way, that's something they're going to rub their nose on and it's going to cause them damage. So I actually, myself, I make these toppers for them. You've seen a couple in the past. But I'll go ahead and show you. This is her new 20 gallon long enclosure. What this is select grade pine 1x2s and the fiberglass screen mesh, and I cut them all down actually with my Dremel cutting tools. And first I glued them together with hot glue, and then I actually pilot drilled some holes with my drill and put some screws in there, which, as you can see, I didn't go perfect on a couple of them. They actually blew out, so what you see why they look so gobby, that's actually to protect them. I gobbed them over real good with hot glue, just to give them that little bit of extra protection. You see I drew these lines around here. That's actually the lines of where this wood matches up with this ledge here. That way I wouldn't have any issues with these hot glue tack spots sticking like it does, or like the old one for Drago's enclosure did. So, I tacked them all together with hot glue, pilot drilled a hole, and put just a single 3-inch drywall screw in there. I would have preferred to have used 2-inch, but 3-inch was what I had. And then I've got these little hinges here, and to make those actually match up, those are sitting on just a piece of it's like 1/2 chunk of wood that I cut out, that I measured out to be the same width as the lip, and that gave me just enough rise to match up with the tops of these. And I pilot drilled all the holes for everything, and then the front locking latch is the same as what I use on everything. It's just one of those barrel bolts, and same thing here, that 1/2, and which actually it's 1/2 that I used for this, because it just happens to match up perfectly with these. Pilot drilled the holes, screwed it all in to make sure nothing cracked. Alright guys, well, I could have swore I had some footage of me actually working on this, but I guess I forgot to set the camera up that day. It was probably dead. It's normally the story. But so I just wanted to kind of show you guys what I'm working with here. I went the same general route as with the last one. I took the same 2 size tubs, stuck them together, but as you can see, I decided to go with a front door this time. It's not going to be, I'm not going to try to stand it up like this or nothing. It's still going to be down here on this side. But as you can see, I've got my markings of where everything's supposed to be and stuff. But I used what I did was I took my cutting wheel on my Dremel, which is kind of burnt up now from using it on the wood, So I'm gonna have to probably get a new one of those, just like I have to get a new easy lock mandrel that actually slid out, and while spinning at speed with the cutting wheel on it, and I just got lucky that it came out and bent over instead of actually flying all the way out and getting me. But so what I did was I set it up. There will be more latches and locks on this. I'm actually going to throw a lock up here as well. Just probably I'm going to try to find a small bolt lock to go across here. And then there will be another set of these down at this area, you know, down closer to this area here on the ends. And then, you know, my normal little hinges here. As you can see, you know, these do have openings, or the ridges. So I had to cut a bit of a V into the ridge there. There we go. And I had to notch out on both sides so that it would actually open. But let's go ahead and slide these out. It does actually open all the way. And the idea here is that instead of having all enclosures that, you know, you got to come in at the animal from the top, this is something that, you know, you can actually open the front door, you can be at level with them, and, you know, you can go straight in and not have to be looming over your animal. I have actually, since the last one, I have abandoned the idea of trying to use silicone on this, simply because even though it says it will, silicone does not stick to this plastic. I even tried roughing it up. You know, I do have one more idea I'm going to try on the next tub enclosure that I build. It will probably be with larger tubs than these, but still made out of the same material. I've got one more thing I'm going to try. I'm actually going to go ahead and every so often I'll drill a hole or make a notch so that it gives the silicone actually something to bite onto other than just trying to stick to the edge, because that just plain and simple wasn't working. And honestly, the waterproofing, you know, the seal that I was going for with the silicone in the past really isn't that big of a deal, I've found out. Really, at this point, it's just protecting the animals to make sure that none of these edges are sharp or anything like that and catches them. And, you know, as you can see over here, all the screws will be covered with hot glue again. Like I said, again, just something to help protect the animals. You know, that way they don't get caught on a screw. Now these ones still aren't covered, but like I said, this is a work in progress. So we're back today. I figured I would take this time while I've got Drago back there in quarantine. Actually, part of the reason he was put back there, not only the issue that we thought he was wheezing and maybe showing signs of RI, we also noticed that he had popped some scales. He actually has a tendency, with the way the door was set up, you can see right here, there's just a little bitty gap here. And Drago's not, you know, a tiny snake, but he was still able to get himself up on that gap with the door on. So he was actually trying to suspend himself up there on that ledge. And while doing that, of course, you know, he can't fit there really. So after just a little bit of slithering and trying to move around, he would end up pushing himself off the ledge, and because of that, he's actually managed to pop a couple of his subcaudal scales off. So in order to avoid that in the future, while he is in quarantine, I am actually going to be switching it up. I'm going from a one door system that lays over the entire top of the enclosure to I will actually be doing a two-door system, and they will both be inset into that gap. And alright guys, so we're back, and I want to give you guys a quick shot of what I did to the enclosure, how I changed the door up to doors, and yeah, So I took the one door we had and I turned it into 2 doors here. So as you can see, it's actually inset. And this little raised up part here is actually, let's see if I can get the camera again. It's where the hinges are. And then a latch for each door. It lifts up. You can get in there just fine. I gotta figure out something about that door slamming shut. And I gotta figure out something about forgetting my notifications are on. And same thing over here. This one comes up, and this one actually stays up a little bit better. So, yeah, now we just gotta clean the whole thing out again. Get the decorations in there, and get it all disinfected and set up for Drago again. Alright guys, well that's all I've got for now. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll get a few more updates in the future. There will be more DIY videos to come. So if that's something you like, it's something you can look forward to. Don't forget to hit that like button down there if you like the video, or if you just like my content in general. Hit the subscribe, and go down there, leave me a comment. Give me a little bit of input. If you guys like what's going on, if you've got any ideas or any questions of any kind, don't hesitate to ask or give me some input. So till next time guys, stay good.